Fire release. This has to be the element we start with. The will of fire is the very first philosophy we're introduced to at the beginning of the series, and the Hidden Leaf Village represents the fire element. In the Naruto universe, fire release stands as the ultimate symbol of aggressive, explosive power that delivers devastating wide-area destruction. If you want to make a statement and burn through every obstacle in your path, fire release is your weapon of choice. Fire release transforms chakra into literal flames right inside your body, then unleashes them through your mouth like you're some kind of enraged dragon. Yep, that means the fire is coming from inside your body, not some kind of oil-spitting fire dancing trick. Although, you can boost your fire release with oil, or even a little wind. Jiraiya, one of the legendary Sannin, combined fire release with oil from his toad summons to create flames so intense. The technique was as much about showmanship as it was about raw, destructive power. This is a direct damage element, so the trade-off is flexibility. Most fire release techniques are straight-up blasts. You're basically blowing fire straight at your enemy. That makes the attack path kind of predictable, right? So, with smaller fire release techniques, your opponent can usually dodge, unless the flames are just too massive. In that case, your only options are to dive underground or find a way to counter the jutsu. However, elite-level shinobi can manipulate these flames, bend them into complex shapes. We've seen Obito's Vortex Flame, Itachi's flame-coated shuriken that follow a flexible arc, and even a scorching hot ash cloud that blinds and burns anyone foolish enough to step inside. That's Madara. The elemental interactions make it even more deadly. Fire release dominates wind release, using air currents as fuel to create even more ferocious blazes. But it meets its match against water release, which can extinguish flames if powerful enough. The thing is, if the water isn't strong enough, all you'll do is create steam. It's like a mist. Basically just a battlefield hazard unless you've got a special eye technique to see through it. But wait, there's more. Use enough fire release techniques, and you can actually change the weather itself, creating the perfect storm conditions for lightning release. Remember Sasuke's Kirin? That apocalyptic lightning strike was only possible because his flames heated the atmosphere enough to generate those storm clouds. In Konohagakure, fire release is pure pride and tradition. The Uchiha clan treated the Great Fireball technique like a rite of passage. If you couldn't master this move, you weren't considered a true adult in their society. Through dedicated training, Uchiha members like Itachi and Sasuke could generate flames powerful enough to overpower even normal water release techniques.
Sasuke took fire release to completely new heights with his blaze release, using his Mangekyo Sharingan to control the black flames of Amaterasu like they were extensions of his own will. He could shape them into swords, shields, or projectiles, turning an already devastating technique into a versatile arsenal of destruction. The Sarutobi clan wasn't about to be outdone either, with their hidden Great Flame technique that exploded with the same unyielding determination that defined their bloodline. Compared to other chakra natures, fire release makes an unmistakable statement about pure, unfiltered power. To be fair though, fire release doesn't really burn much in Naruto,
aside from Sasuke's Amaterasu taking off the Raikage arm.
Still, fire release is the most straightforward element, which is why it's wielded by the boldest, most strong-willed, even wild and reckless ninja. Those who are willing to burn down every limitation to achieve their goals. There's something primal and liberating about wielding flames. It connects you to that fundamental force of destruction and renewal that's been part of human nature since the dawn of time. Fire release always becomes the center of attention wherever it appears. It's genuinely beautiful, absolutely dazzling. So here's the question that really matters. If you were a ninja in the world of Naruto, would you choose this element? Interesting, right? If you're looking for a journey full of emotions, action, and friendship, then you've come to the right place. Our channel takes you deep into the colorful and intense ninja world of Naruto. From epic battles to heartwarming moments, we're here to explore every detail with you. So yeah, if you haven't subbed yet, hit that button. Thanks a ton. Next,
water release. Now, let's move on to the element that counters fire, water. Have you ever dreamed of controlling entire oceans, turning water into razor-sharp weapons, or building an unbreakable barrier from liquid itself? That's exactly what water release brings to the table. What makes water release absolutely terrifying is its incredible flexibility and shape-shifting nature. One moment it's just water, gentle and pure. The next, it's a devastating tsunami. It's both the ultimate shield and the deadliest sword, perfectly embodying that unpredictable, free-flowing power that lets you adapt to any situation. Water release masters really command it like ancient sea gods. The core strength lies in manipulating existing water sources or creating massive amounts from pure chakra, which honestly shows just how insanely skilled these ninjas are. Let's go over some iconic water release techniques. First, the legendary Water Dragon Bullet that creates a roaring beast of pure water. This jutsu is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, and also very versatile. It has solid offensive power and works well in mid-range combat. We've also got the Water Formation Wall, which creates a liquid barrier that stops medium to large-scale fire release attacks, while techniques like the Hidden Mist turn you into a ghost on the battlefield. And of course, there's the entire arsenal of Kisame. This guy's basically a fish man. His entire combat style is built around water. And because of how flexible this element is, its combat applications are simply undeniable. You can flood entire areas to control the terrain, create water prisons to trap enemies, or use thick mist to completely blind opponents while you hunt them down. It's like having the power of every sea deity rolled into one devastating package. It's no surprise that water release is used by tactical masters, those who favor coordination, strategy, and efficiency above all else. Yes, I'm talking about Tobarama Senju. This man could summon an entire water wall in a confined space, use water to counter fire, and create mist that neutralized the Sharingan's vision, shoot high-pressure water jets that could slice through the toughest materials, and even spit water senbon from his mouth to launch sneak attacks. We've also got the Ninja of the Mist, those who use water release to support their stealthy, silent kill fighting styles. Then there's Kisame Hoshigaki. This guy fights like a literal predator shark. Imagine going up against someone who floods the entire battlefield and then sends a pack of liquid monsters after you. Simple choice: drown or get eaten. And don't even get me started on the Hozuki clan's hydrification technique. These guys can literally turn themselves into water, making them practically immortal and ridiculously hard to predict. One moment you're fighting a solid person, the next your fist is going through liquid, and suddenly they're behind you with a blade ready to end your career. See what I mean? It's the perfect fusion of raw power and battlefield strategy. And obviously, don't throw fire jutsu at skilled water release users, unless you're Madara. Otherwise, you're just wasting chakra. But water isn't invincible. Earth release can really mess things up, absorbing water and turning your deadly jutsu into a bunch of glorified puddles. It's the classic rock, paper, scissors situation. So here's the real question. Would you prefer the elegant, refined water manipulation of the second Hokage? Or would you rather flex like Kisame and drown everyone in your way? I choose fire release, lightning release. Just behind water release, in terms of flexibility, we have lightning release. Sure, it may be slightly less versatile, but in terms of power, speed, and screen time, it absolutely dominates. What's flashy, comes with killer sound effects, delivers pure destruction, and leaves both enemies and viewers paralyzed. This is it. Lightning release transforms chakra into pure electrical energy, delivering speed, piercing power, and that satisfying shock that leaves opponents completely helpless. The crackling sparks, the blinding flashes, the ear-splitting thunder when it hits. I'm not kidding. Every single battle featuring top-tier lightning release users is instantly 10 times more hype. In combat, lightning release makes every weapon deadly. Channel electricity through a kunai or a blade, and it vibrates with lethal energy, cutting through armor like a hot knife through butter. Even a regular sword in Killer Bee's hands almost sliced Kubikiri Bocho in half. Kakashi's Chidori? That's a lightning speed assassination technique that punches through anything in its path. Then there's the Raikage's lightning release chakra mode, where he literally becomes lightning itself. His body moves at incredible speed, his strength gets massively buffed, and he becomes virtually unstoppable. Sasuke's Kirin stands as the most jaw-dropping lightning release technique ever created. He really commanded actual lightning from storm clouds, bringing down nature's fury in a single, devastating strike. Picture the sky splitting open, a massive dragon of pure electricity descending like divine judgment. Goosebumps every single time I rewatch that scene. Because lightning belongs to the sky, mastering it is like becoming Thor wielding Mjolnir. Stand on a mountaintop, call down lightning to strike your enemies. That's the lightning release fantasy we all dream of. Darui's Black Lightning offers something different. A mysterious, unique variant learned from the Third Reikage himself. Meanwhile, the Third Reikage's Hellstab earned the title of Strongest Spear, capable of piercing any defense. You want battlefield control? Use Chidori Nagashi. You want mid-range strikes? Try Chidori Spear. Want to throw lightning chakra like Shuriken? Use Chidori Senbon. Sure, it doesn't have the shape-shifting flexibility or terrain control that Water Release boasts, but its damage output is huge, and its combat applications are incredibly effective thanks to its conductivity. Also, Lightning Release completely dominates Earth Release. That's why Sasuke was able to beat Sasori, because Sasori primarily used Earth Release. Don't forget, Sasori was an S-rank rogue ninja, immune to Genjutsu, capable of flight, and had a much more versatile arsenal than Sasuke at that point. Honestly, it's kind of wild how lucky Sasuke was to have both the Sharingan and Lightning Release. If you like speed and piercing power, Lightning Release is your pick. Wind Release. This is chakra made for those who crave freedom, who want to glide like a storm, and unleash strikes that leave opponents with no time to react. If you want to become an unstoppable tornado, Wind Release is your very soul. Wind Release transforms chakra into razor-sharp wind blades. Or, you don't even need to mold chakra. You can just generate actual wind. Asuma Sarutobi channeled Wind Release into his chakra blades, turning them into razor-sharp weapons with reach far beyond any sword. Temari, the kunoichi of Tsunagakure, only needed to swing her giant folding fan to create sandstorms that shred enemies to pieces. Have you ever imagined controlling a spinning tornado or summoning a wind-riding beast like Temari's Kamatari to slice your opponents clean? It's absolute freedom on the battlefield. Now, think about Naruto Uzumaki's Rasen Shuriken, a spinning chakra sphere that glimmers like a star, cutting everything down to the cellular level. That's Naruto's signature move, hands down. But, in reality, Wind Release is rare. It truly shines in Tsunagakure. However, when people talk about this village, they usually mention the generations of Kazekage who manipulate sand, or the two legendary puppet masters. Wind Release has never been fully explored to its true potential, and that's kind of a shame, because air is invisible, unpredictable, and its area of effect potential is absolutely terrifying. Remember, Temari literally mowed down an entire forest with one swing of her folding fan. Its piercing power might not be the highest, but Wind Release is the natural enemy of anything airborne. Kunai, Shuriken, sound waves, or literally anything floating or flying. Wind Release's flexibility makes it perfect for those who love freedom and surprises. Earth Release. Now, we move on to the most primal and raw element, Earth Release. This element has even less screen time than Wind Release, but it's definitely not as weak as people think. Of course, because Earth is solid and rugged, we usually think of its defensive potential first. Yeah, the defensive capabilities alone are mind-blowing. The Earth walls can absorb ridiculous amounts of damage, shrugging off attacks that would level buildings, but it's more versatile than you think. Remember Jiraiya's Swamp of the Underworld? That technique doesn't just trap you, it pulls you down into a muddy grave where struggle only makes things worse. And then there's the underground fish projection technique, where ninja literally swim through solid earth to launch surprise attacks. Your enemies never see it coming, and earth is everywhere. You're standing on it, which means you can choose to mold chakra and spit out earth, or you can manipulate the existing terrain. When someone can casually reshape the terrain you're standing on, you're fighting the ground itself. Not many ninja can fly, so if you can control the earth, you actually have a massive advantage on the battlefield, especially in large-scale combat. You can even summon an earth golem to fight for you, tank hits for you, and bring enough flexibility and destruction to dominate in mid-range combat. If you want to see truly terrifying earth release power, look at Kitsuchi during the Fourth Great Ninja War. He had the ability to manipulate terrain on a massive scale. This man literally created 2 mountains, actual mountains, and sandwiched the Ten Tails in between them. Imagine having so much control over Earth that geological features become your weapons. And of course, we can't ignore Onoki's weight manipulation techniques. Making things lighter or heavier might sound simple, but when you can make your enemies too heavy to move, increase the power of your strikes, reduce your own weight to boost speed, even fly, or stop a meteor from the sky, you're a beast. There's a reason an old man like Onoki was considered the strongest among the 5 Kage. And yeah, dust release? We have to talk about dust release. That's earth, wind, and fire combined into particle-level destruction that can erase anything from existence. It's the only Keki Tota in the entire series, and in terms of raw destructive potential, it can rival the truth-seeking orbs. Earth release isn't just about techniques, it's about mindset. Users tend to be patient, methodical, and absolutely unbreakable in their resolve. They're the ones who let enemies exhaust themselves against immovable defenses before crushing them with the inevitable weight of stone and soil. It's not flashy like fire or graceful like water. It's the slow, grinding force of nature that wears down everything in its path. Think about it. Earth release is perfect for those who want to build their empire on unshakable foundations or destroy everything with the raw power of the planet itself. This is the element for those who understand that true power doesn't need to be flashy. It just needs to be absolute. So, out of all the elements we've covered, which one do you like the most? Which one fits you best? And which do you think is the strongest? Drop your answers in the comments below. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.